What is happening? It is a Thursday afternoon. I want to remind everybody that tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Movie Madness makes a return to the YouTube airways here on my channel. Me, YR, and Arknoe Strokobi will be taking a look at all the great comedy movies throughout the centuries. So definitely tune in for that. Now I want to tell a couple stories here. And this is regarding something that I am 100% against, which is drug use. The first occurred a couple weeks ago on the Tuesday night, late night, while I was on the call with Jacob RP on his show. I was at a nearby 7-Eleven. I got me some things to drink and a couple of snacks. And during my call with Jacob, I noticed that there was a car with the engine running and the headlights on. I figured it was somebody waiting for someone inside the 7-Eleven to come out so they can get in that passenger side and take off. But the car was just still there throughout that whole time, throughout that whole call. After I got done with the call, I walk over to the car because I also noticed that I didn't see no driver behind the wheel. I noticed there was a female lunched over the driver's seat like she was unconscious, comatose, whichever. I go in front of the store where the two female workers were talking with some guy that they know. I informed them of the situation. All four of us walk over to the car to check on this gal. We try to wake her up. I call 911. Give the operator information where we're located, the description of the female in the car. After we got done making the call, the female slowly starts to come to, and one of the workers at the 7-Eleven noticed that she was sweaty. I tried to get a photo of the license plate number, but I wasn't able to because this broad decides to put the car in reverse, spun out, and get out of the driveway as soon as she could. All four of us were telling her to stay put, stay there. The ambulance will be on its way. She didn't listen. She just sped off onto the road. A minute after that, a police truck and a couple of fire engines drive into the parking lot. We give the cop the details of the woman in the automobile, where she headed. And all three of them started headed down the same direction. Now on the following night, I talked to the female worker again to find out if any updates came about. And she said none at all. But she did talk with the morning manager about the situation. And it was something we suspected. It could be possibly heroin that she was doing. Noting the sweating that this broad was doing when lumped over on the driver's side. And apparently, if she would have stayed, the cops and the paramedics would have discovered what it was and she would have been exposed. which, by the way, is a big fear that addicts fear happening to them. The fear of being exposed as a druggie. Now, we have not heard anything from this woman since that. And my question for this particular woman was, what the fuck was she thinking? Heroin has destroyed lives, relationships, friendships. It has destroyed everything. Reputations, work ethics, the whole 10 yards. Let me give you a good example. There was this woman back in southeast Michigan who was a horrible drug addict. She never sought treatment. The story was that she suffered a lot of abuse from her father, both verbal and physical. And she sought heroin as a way of finding that peace, finding that happiness. But what she did to get that heroin, to get the drug money, was simply unbelievable. She was an all-out thief. Because she couldn't spend nothing else but money on drugs. Remember, dealers don't take credit cards or debit, let alone food stamps. They want cold hard cash up front. This woman, who was raising 2 kids on her own, who also lied to the SSI office about being disabled when she really wasn't. She would steal from department stores, 7-Elevens. She would steal from that drugstore, that convenience store, for food, clothing, whichever beauty products. She would get caught, go to court, get sentenced to a good amount of months in prison. She'd get out and repeat the same thing over and over and over and over. And how she met her fate was in the most disturbing way. But this proves that if the drugs don't kill you, the ways you go about to get them will kill you just as well. This woman, along with a friend, was in Chelsea, Michigan, which is a few miles past Ann Arbor, on I-94. Apparently they were stealing stuff. They were running from the store, running across I-94, where there was no overlights. A car going either 70, 75, or 80 miles an hour strikes this woman dead on, destroying her completely. There was reported brain matter in the radiator area, and apparently her legs got destroyed, tore off just as well. Now, a week after that, it was an open casket funeral for this woman. The beauticians there really had to work overtime, for I understand, to make this woman presentable. They had to put a wig on her. They had to do lots of makeup, lots and lots of makeup. As I observed the body in the casket, I tried to look down, and I swore I could not see this woman's legs. Think about that before you decide to do drugs. You want to end up like that, girl? Fuck no. Which also brings up another subject regarding the same issue. A gal pal who resides in Houston, who I met a couple of times at Numbers, she does a lot of cosplaying and a lot of designs for automobiles. She earns good money at that. Years ago, she used to do a lot of drugs with this friend. The gal pal decides, to get clean, get off that shit, move forward in life, accomplish her dreams of being a designer, which she achieved. Gal pal and a couple friends were at this eating venue, some sort of a bar. The druggie ex-friend of this gal pal comes at her for getting clean. How dare you get straight? You left me by myself. You fucking bitch. Ah. The gal pal had to lock herself in the women's room stall until security had to be called in to drag this druggie bitch out. Now, anybody be like, yo, what the fuck is up with this woman doing that? Well, there's 3 words that fits the description. Misery loves company. This druggie was miserable. She was miserable because, excuse me, I'm fumbling my words, but this druggie bitch was miserable that she was left by herself while her friend decided to do the right thing. Now, I don't know if anything else had happened after that, but I came to her support and saying, you don't need that bitch. You were good to get rid of her. Let her rot in her hole. Now, I'm going to conclude this with this one important message. Drugs are no fun. People have died from them. People have died in the means of getting them. They have destroyed relationships, work, romantic, friendships, you name it. Drugs do nothing but destroy. And also, I cannot forget the one neighbor that I grew up with getting involved with the wrong crowd and casting me aside for not being a part of that scene. I'm still working. I'm still living. I'm still walking perfectly. I'm still hanging out with people here and there. I'm doing shows here on YouTube. I have a SoundCloud page, which pretty soon I'm going to work on some new tracks for. This guy ended up having 3 strokes from his drug use. The police had to arrest him in order for him to seek help. If I understand now, the guy resides somewhere in Memphis, Michigan, doing a little bit of odd jobs here and there, but basically, he really doesn't do that much other than some farm work here and there. But he has trouble walking. He had to use a cane for a long, long while. I tried to reconnect with him a couple years ago when I was still in the same area that he was living in. Tried a few times to reach out. He didn't want to reach out to me, so I said, fuck it. That's it for now. Those are my stories. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about these stories I mentioned. In the meantime, we'll see you later on tonight for Movie Madness, 7 p.m. Eastern. like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. Carry on, guys and gals. Bye-bye.